Hello, everyone. This is Rizwan Mania from ACCA platform. I hope you all are good and everybody is fine at their respective places. A quick confirmation before we proceed towards our today's agenda, which is extremely important. And I've done a very good analysis for you people. This paper has always remained a question mark among students. So, yeah, we will try to resolve your problems. I will help you to the last day of your paper. Don't worry. And I will be with you. But the only thing you need to do is you need to follow the entire plan that I will share with you. Anyways, before we proceed, uh, certain house rules I need to tell you people. The first of all is just confirm me whether you can hear me. Is the voice clear to all of you? Is Rizwan Mania audible to all of you? Number one. Yes, please. Okay, that's good. So whenever you have any issue, just let us know about the voice, and we can just consider that, and we can try to fix it. Okay. Secondly, okay. Secondly, uh, is my screen clear to all of you? Can people see the screen very clearly? Just confirm me about the screen as well. Okay, the screen is clear to everyone. Okay. Yeah, I can see your questions. Everybody, I can see your questions. So, uh, is the voice clear to all of you? Please just confirm. Is everything audible? My video. Can you see my face? Here I am. Yes. Can you see my face, everybody? Okay. So everything is clear. Perfect. Okay. Now my voice is audible to all of you. So are we all ready to start with a very exciting and thrilling session? Great. In the chat. Just open the chat. Okay. So a quick confirmation again. Is the voice clear to all of you? And I'm audible to all of you? Just confirm, please. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Is it audible? So I think it might be your internet issue. If someone internet is not working fine, so in that case, there will be some audio issue. But our technical team is connected. Yeah, Abdullah, if you can hear me, please. There are students who are complaining about the voice issue. Please just give me a go ahead. Should I start? Okay, Abdullah, the admin person, can I start? Okay, thank you, Abdullah. Thanks for confirmation. Yeah, we are all ready to Okay, so yeah, everything is now fixed. Let's start. Thank you very much for your quick confirmation. So, friends, today how I will go about things, I will tell you, and you will get a very good idea how I will be covering the entire important areas of performance management. First of all, about myself, my teaching experience is around 13 years. In fact, it's now more than 13 years. So I'll be a bit prudent here, but yeah, it's 13 years. And I teach papers, performance management, which is F5, financial management, which is F9, and advanced performance management, which is P5. Okay. So my stream of teaching has always been, when you can say, performance management, management accounting, financial management, and paper like these. Uh, Currently, I'm teaching at KNS School of Business Studies, where I do teach physically. And yeah, many of my students were able to secure positions. And this time, I expect this audience who is in front of me that you all will be getting the positions. Okay. So, guys, I want very motivated audience, very committed audience. My sessions are a bit different because I want people to interact with me. If you will not interact, it will not be a very good session. So I want my entire audience to interact with me. A quick test of that interaction is, come on, quickly, everybody say yes. Just say yes. Let's see how many people are saying yes. So just say yes. Okay, I need answers from all of the students. Okay. Great, great. Yeah, this is the enthusiasm I need from you people, and let's be together in this war of performance management, and let's ensure that we all pass in this paper. Okay. So, paper introduction. This is an advanced paper of F2, known as management accounting. You all know this is an advanced paper of that. Personally, I believe that the students' concept at F2 level are important for this paper. If you have good concepts at F2 level, so here it will give you a lot more benefit. And yeah, concepts are important. But anyways, let's not worry about those things. Let's now focus on the key areas of performance management, and we'll try to ensure that you all pass. So it's a big transition from paper F2. If you can see here, obviously, I just quickly want to tell you the basic differences. The first difference is of the expectation. Obviously, the paper expectation is different. A very simple difference, if you want me to tell you guys, a very simple difference between F2 and F5 is that F2 was a paper where you used to do calculations. Okay, that was a paper that required you to do calculations. Like, for example, using high-low method, separate variable and fixed cost. Okay, that's it. Or calculate sales quantity, sales volume variance. Okay, sales price variance. Perfect. The expectation at PM level is not just to work out sales price variance or sales volume variance, but the focus will be to do the interpretation of that variance. That is, why sales price is favorable, why sales volume is adverse. So, what I personally tell my students is, in PM, it's more about why. It's more about why you do such a work. And remember, the word why is something that you need to keep in your mind every time. Why do we perform these things? Why variances are favorable? Why it is adverse? What is the reason behind that? So to focus on all those things of why. Okay. So here, it's not just calculation, my friends. It's about the interpretation. It's about what actually the numbers mean. I repeat, what it is about, what actually the numbers mean. Okay. Obviously, the question types different. I will be discussing quickly the paper pattern. It's not similar to what you have experienced in your management accounting F2 paper. And the third difference is the exam timing. So this is crucial. Sometimes at F2 or MA level, we know that if we can't clear a paper, so we'll take a new date in the same month or the next month, and we can just attempt it again. Yeah, there is flexibility of that. But here, there are 4 windows of paper. So you need to ensure that if you cannot pass, the next attempt will be after 2 months or 3 months. So yes, it's a difference. It's a major difference when I compare with F2 management accounting paper. Now, after discussing the quick differences, the paper structure. And listen, my friends, one thing I need to tell you all one thing. And you know what that thing is? That I will be discussing very, very important things with you people today. Very important thing. So one request I need to do is that you take the entire 3-hour session today. And if you follow the plans that I'll share with you, I'm sure it will give you a really good opportunity to pass PM in December 2020. But for that, the question is, are you ready to follow my plans? Let me see. Are you ready to follow my plans, friends? So the answer should be a big yes. Yes, sir, we all are ready. So if you are ready, you need to ensure that you take the entire today's session and the next 4 days as well, which means in these 15 hours, I will make you capable enough to attempt the paper. In these 15 hours, what I'll try my best is to give you the confidence. In these 15 hours, I will give you a recap of good important topics. And in these 15 hours, I will work on your weaknesses. My more than 13 years experience of teaching this paper has given me lots of highs and lows about this paper. So what I think, I've conducted previous PM webinars uh, 3 times, 4 times before. This is the 5th time I'm conducting the PM webinar for ACCA Pakistan. What I think is that people are not good in their weak areas. They exactly don't know how to overcome their problem. They know their weaker areas, but they don't know how to overcome those weaker areas. So whatever question we'll do today, if you have done that question sometime before as well, don't leave the session, because there might be something which will be new for you. There might be something that will help you and will give you the confidence. So everybody, will you take the entire session? Say yes or no. Okay. Yeah, this is the response I need. Okay, this is the response I need. Great. And as I told you, I will be with you till the exam day. So follow the instructions, follow all the plans that I will share with you people, so that it gives you a really good advantage to pass performance management in December 2020. December 2020 will be your attempt. Okay. Now, the syllabus is divided into 4 areas. I'm sure people have a very good idea about that. So it's advanced costing technique, it's decision making, it's budgeting and control, and performance measurement. Okay. Budgeting and control does includes another very important area known as variances. Variances. So it also includes variances. Your paper is divided into three areas. You have section A, you have section B, and you have section C. Section A, 15 objective test questions having a weightage of 2 marks each, which means 30 marks altogether. Okay. Section B, 3 case style questions, each having a worth of 10 marks, and this makes 10 into 3 is 30 marks. So it's 30 marks, right? Great. Section C, 2 constructive response questions, and the weightage of each is 20 marks each. So the weightage is 20 marks each. Okay. So my friends, if you just observe here, and this webinar, I'm sure, will give you lots of new things. So if you observe here that section A comprises of 30 marks and section B comprises of 30 marks, this means 60 marks are relating to section A and section B. And what will be tested here? Objective test questions. For section A, there will be individual objective test questions, and for section B, there will be case study based objective test questions. So in short, 60 marks of objective test questions and 20 marks of constructive response, where you need to have the skills of spreadsheet and word processing sheet. So 60% of the paper is tilted towards objective tests. So now you need to be very clear that you have to focus a lot on OTs as well. You can't just leave OTs. You can't just ignore OTs. As I move on, I will tell you the specific mistakes that students incur in section A, they do in section B and section C. So the point telling you here is that 60% includes objective test. Okay. Now, if you can see here, everything is yes except for a no here, which means advanced costing technique is one area that will not be tested for section C, which means topics like ABC, targets, life cycle, throughput, and environmental management accounting will not come in paper in section C for a long question. The rest all is yes, which means any area can come either in section A, either can come in section B, or either can come in section C. Yeah, one more thing. The two 20-mark questions will come from decision-making techniques. This one, budgeting and control. This one, and performance measurement and control area of the syllabus, as it is very much clearly shown in the table as well. These questions may also include requirement related to information system area of the syllabus, which has been added recently in your PM exam. So the structure of the paper is well clear to all of you. Remember my words, 60% it's OT based, 20% constructive response. Yeah, last 4 attempts, passing ratio. We always are concerned about the passing ratio. And today, in today's session, the entire audience who is listening me right now from lots of countries globally, I want you people to keep this in your mind that you will not fail. I think psychologically it's really important to be strong in our mind. So my friends, just be positive and just make sure that your mind is clear about passing paper in December 2020. Let's not discuss much about passing ratio. Whatever it is, 41, 38, 35, and In September 2020, it was 39. What my point is that all of you should be in this 39%. Come on, guys, say yes or no. So all of you must be in this 39%. This is what matters. Whatever the global passing ratio is, but what I want that all of you should be part of this 39% the passing ratio. And if you just focus on passing the paper, ignoring that passing ratio is low or it's average or moderate, then you will be able to pass very easily. So positivity, positive mindset is important. Last thing, if you have not been able to pass paper since last 2 attempts, last 3 attempts, last 4 attempts, forget it. It's a fresh attempt. Let's focus on this attempt. Rizwan Mania will be with you till the last day of the paper, and the plan, which one? The $1 million plan. What I'm saying, guys, the $1 million plan. So the $1 million plan that I will share with you people, make sure you follow that. And if you will follow, it will give you a really, really good chance to pass in December 2020 exam. Okay, so I'll share with you the $1 million plan right after the session, which means once we are at the end of the session today, at the end I will share you the $1 million plan, what you have to do. So you have to follow my entire plan. Okay. Now, what will be my teaching methodology in this webinar? I've done a lot of research, and this time I will give importance to that area that has been tested frequently in the paper. So it will be complete analysis based webinar. I will touch difficult areas. I will discuss crucial areas. I'll tell you why this area is important for calculation. I'll tell you why this area is important for theory. And according to that, I will give the weightage. Okay, so approximately it will be 30% knowledge and 70% practice based, where I will develop your skills to pass the paper. In performance management exam, my friends, it is very important that you should know how to solve a question. You know the theory, you're perfect in activity based costing, you're perfect in target costing, but what is lacking is how to attempt the question. And here, Rizwan Mania will play a very important role and will try to ensure that you do understand the application part. Okay. All key areas of the syllabus will be discussed with practice or will be covered through previous webinar video. Link will be shared. Now, this is very important. You tell me, do you want to prepare yourself in the remaining days that are left for the exam? Say yes or no. Come on, say yes or no. If you want to prepare yourself in the remaining days, I'll assume you don't know anything. So the plan that I will share with you is what you have to follow. You have to follow my plan. The 5 days, these one, and later on what you have to do, that I'll tell you people. Not only this, after the end of every day webinar, I'll give you a plan before the next day. Okay, so number one, you have to follow my 5 days. Number two, whatever work I give you at the end of the respective day, so before the next day, you have to do that. Are you ready? Say yes or no. And once you are done with the webinar, then you have to follow the plan. So those who are committed with me, those who are committed to themselves, then I'm sure they will have no issue at all. Getting the point? Great. So I'll share you the plan, and this is how we'll cover. The session will equally focus on objective test and constructive response questions, OTs and CRQs. The session will equally focus on calculation and theory. And let me tell you here, I'm not a teacher who just teaches calculation, or I'm not a teacher who just teaches theory. What I'll do, I'll teach you on a merit basis, which means If one topic is famous for theory, we'll cover more of that. If one topic is famous for calculation, we'll cover more of that. So like this, I'll move on, and not only I'll decide this by myself. In fact, I will prove you by showing you the past paper analysis of different topics each day so that you get able to understand, wow, okay, so theory is important for this topic and calculation is important for this topic. So these 5 days will include all these things. There will be significant focus on examination techniques and how to gain easy marks. Now, this is my advantage. I would say if you are able to secure easy marks in the paper, you can pass. Remember, my friends, exam is of 100 marks, but how much you need to pass? Come on, tell me. You need 50 marks to pass. So if you need 50 marks to pass, let's learn how to grab those easy marks first. And today, I will emphasize a lot on getting those easy 50 marks. Okay? The marking scheme will be discussed in order to make it clear how to approach the answer. This is important. I will be telling you how the marker will mark. I will tell you the mindset of the marker. What will what is something on which you will gain marks, where you will lose marks, and where it will have no effect on your performance. Okay. Examiner reports, technical articles will be part of my study plan. Maybe I might open that in the class, or whatever lecture I'm delivering will be part of that. Objective test question bank. Objective test question bank will be used, which will be like exam environment using ACCA platform. Constructive response question will be solved using spreadsheet and word processing sheet, again using ACCA platform. Okay. So this is my 5-day teaching methodology. I'm sure you are convinced that all these will be good for you and will prove really big success for you in December 2020. Now, the common problems that I need to discuss section wise. Just note down these points, okay? Just note down these points. Just take a pen, register in your hand, and start noting down. Common problems in section A. These are section A problems, OTs. Candidates are struggling in theory-based objective test questions. Why? Come on. If I ask you people, why are you struggling in theory-based objective test questions? What is the reason? The reason is either you are not good in theory, concept-wise, or you haven't done a lot of questions for practice. So this means you need to improve yourself in theory, especially objective test theory based OTs. For that, your concept should be important. For that, your basis should be strong. Remember my one statement. If you are good in concept, it will help you in calculation, and it will also help you in theory. I repeat, if you are good in concept, it will help you in calculation, and it will also help you in theory. So building the concept helps in calculation as well as theory. Candidates are not covering the entire syllabus. Candidates are not covering the entire syllabus. Now, this is the examiner's biggest complaint. Why don't you cover the entire syllabus? Remember, objective test of section A can come from any area of your book. If you left one page, like for example, transaction processing system, and an OT can come in that area. So you need to cover everything, and I'll tell you the plan for that. Common problems in section B, that is case style OT based. So the problems are: candidates do not read scenario actively. You know, examiner report has mentioned this multiple times examiner has mentioned in its report that students, when they are solving section B questions, they read the question, they go to the OT, and they do not relate that OT with the scenario. If you don't read the scenario actively, you can't do that. So candidates do not relate their answer with the scenario. You are solving an OT, but because it is section B question, so that scenario is very important. When you're solving a 2-mark OT there, try to relate that thing with the scenario, because this is a very common mistake I have seen myself. In my classes, I've seen students doing the same mistake, and this is what your examiner is also mentioning in the examiner report. So whenever you're solving objective test section B, my friends, try to relate your question with the scenario. Otherwise, you might do it wrong. Okay? So these are specific to section B. Then we have section C problems. And let's see what section C problems actually are. So if you see here in section C, it says candidate do not read the question actively, the same problem, because in section C also there is a big scenario. Candidates do not understand question requirements. Today I will ensure that this problem is resolved forever now, today. So be with me. The way I'll just build your confidence skills, it will be out of the world. I will cover all the past papers approximately, and it will help you a lot. Okay? Candidates are struggling to use spreadsheet to optimal. My friends, you need to ensure that you should be able to use the formulas. If you will not use formulas, you will not be able to work the thing effectively. Now, there are certain students, what they do, you know what they do? They use calculator using a spreadsheet. Why? It's a big sin to use calculator when you have the luxury of a spreadsheet. So don't use calculators. You should know how to input the formula and how your working should be done. Okay? And today you will get the clarity of that presentation as well. Candidates do not relate answers with scenarios. My friends, plenty of time examiner has mentioned that linking with scenario in sections is important. For example, a performance measurement question of 20 marks where you're required to work out the ratios, you need to make sure that whatever ratios you have calculated, so when you do the interpretation of that, you link that with the scenario. Linking with scenario is extremely important for my students. Candidates are facing time management issues, and this clearly shows lack of practice. This clearly shows lack of practice. Okay, this is clearly lack of practice. So yeah, you need to ensure that there should be no lack of practice. Okay, there should be no lack of practice. So this is very important for all of you, that you ensure that your answers and whatever you have done is good. Okay, so we are done with this one. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, it's working. Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. Okay. So, where were we? Friends, I had a discussion that time management needs to be improvised. And for this time management, what are we supposed to do? We have to practice lots of questions within the given time. So our examination, and just giving you an idea, 1.7 minutes per mark. So whenever you solve a question, maybe of 20 marks, so 20 multiplied by 1.7 minutes per mark means how many minutes do you have? Come on, can you tell me? 20 multiplied by 1.7. How many marks? Sorry, how many minutes we have? 34 minutes. So in 34 minutes, we have to solve the question in 34 minutes. Okay? So just time bound yourself. Candidates are not focusing on gaining easy marks. I'll tell you how will we gain easy marks today. Candidates are lacking examination technique. This is what I will be focusing on. So these are the common mistakes that my students are doing in section C. And let's now try to focus on these things so that we are able to solve the things on time and pass the paper very, very effectively. Okay. Now, day-wise plan. Come on, guys. It's important thing. Today, budgets. Tomorrow, variances. Third day, decision making. Fourth day, performance measurement. Performance measurement. Yes, very important. Thursday. From Thursday, we'll be starting with performance measurement. Okay. Day 5, performance measurement. We will continue a bit of that because it's lengthy. I will spend more time on performance measurement and advanced costing technique. So this is the day-wise plan you have. Now, every day, approximately 40 to 50 mark question practice will be covered. So every day my task will be that we practice 40 to 50 marks each day. So if you are able to do that, which means in these 5 days, we will be doing a practice of 200 to 250 marks of your paper, which means it will give you lots of confidence, 200 to 250 marks of your paper. Every day, my target is to target 40 to 50 marks. Okay, so this is the day-wise plan. Please just note down day 4 is extremely important. This area is always examined, so it's extremely important. Now, all set to start budgets. Now, do listen my quick analysis about budgets and the today's agenda. First, I'll give you a quick overview about types of budgets. And we will do a past paper question as well. Okay. Then I will develop the skills how to draft theory. Yes, today's agenda is about theory drafting. So you might be thinking, why drafting of theory is important? Because it's one of the biggest weaknesses of performance management student. So today I hope this will be resolved. Wow. You know why? Because your budget area has been tested 8 times in your paper. 8 times from 2007 till 2020. I'm talking about section C. And you can't imagine 38 marks are tested for calculation and 109 marks have been tested for theory. which means 75% tested for theory in section C. Wow. Are you all with me? Say yes. Come on, guys. Is it interesting? What's your feedback? Yes. 75% approximately has been tested for theory, which means budgeting is one very important area for theory. So now you tell me, if theory is important or has been tested more in budgets, so do you think we should be covering more of theory in budgets? Say yes or no. You decide yourself. Yes. So 75% has been tested for theory and 25% has been tested for calculations. So if this is the ratio, why we will not focus on theory more? So yes, we will be focusing on theory plus calculation as well, but budget is one area where one can expect theory to come more. Then we'll be covering participation approaches. I'll give you a quick overview of learning curve. Then along with that, we'll be solving past paper questions, 42 marks. Sorry, 32 marks we'll be covering today that relates to theory. 32 marks of section C we'll be doing. And then 8 marks we'll be doing for section A. Okay. So 32 marks of section C and 8 marks of OTs we'll be doing today. And then I will tell you plan for the remaining areas of budget through previous webinars that I've conducted. So guys, is the today's agenda clear to all of you? Say yes or no. Okay. Now, let's start with the plan so that we are able to understand the things. A quick past paper analysis of budgets. Budgets has been tested in June 2009, December 2010, June 2011, December 2012, June 2013, June 2015, December 2016, and it was tested last in September 2019. I mentioned the breakup of calculation and theory, as you can see here. And as I showed you earlier, less calculation was tested and more theory was tested. So this is the breakup in front of you. In fact, there were certain attempts where it's 20 marks complete theory tested in budgets. So always the quantum of calculation was less and the theory quantum was more. So yeah, here there is a big lacking of students that we need to overcome. So 8 times it has been tested, and I'll tell you the plan how to cover all these 8 attempt questions. I will give you the plan. That will be my $1 million plan. So be with me till the end. Okay. So now here we are. First of all, a quick idea about fixed budget. What is a fixed budget? Be with me, guys. And one more thing, I'll be sharing important slides on the WhatsApp group. This is my group number. This is my WhatsApp number, +92 321 2436 266. I'll be making a WhatsApp group today that will be focusing on this attempt. So please just send me a quick message on my WhatsApp for the group link. I will share the group link with you people tonight, and will share all these important slides in that has complete analysis that I've given here, and the other material as well. So please quickly send me a WhatsApp message on my number so that I can share you the link and you are part of this group, so that we will be able to help you throughout the days that are left until the exam day. Okay. Now, fixed budget. This is the first budget that the organization prepares, and the objective of this budget is what? This is prepared at a single activity level. This means you are planning to open a school and you are almost approaching to the first year of the school. So before you open the school, you need to have a plan. You need to have a budget that gives you the direction where you will head once you start the school. So the first budget that you will make before the opening of the school is, my friends, known as fixed budget. So let's do a rough estimate. Now, you tell me, how much students do you expect to be in the first year of the school? Come on, give me an estimated figure. Let me see what figures you will give me. An estimated one. Come on, guys. I'm getting the options, and by looking at the numbers, I am able to understand how big you think or small you think. Okay, so we are getting different options. Let's be realistic. For example, we expect 200 students to be part of our school in the first year. So the first budget that we will prepare will be based on 200 students. This is your fixed budget. Now, once you prepare a budget based on 200 students, what will this do? It will give you the idea that how things will be managed. It will help you to set broad objectives. It will help you to decide what resources will be required for these 200 students. What will be the cost? What resources will be required for that? So basically, fixed budget is the first budget that the organization prepares, and it sets the broad objectives for the organization. Another very important thing is it sets the broad objectives. Okay, it gives you the direction. That is fine. But what is the next advantage is it is useful for controlling fixed cost. It's useful for controlling fixed cost. Okay, so yeah, it's useful for controlling fixed cost. Now the question is why a fixed budget is useful for controlling fixed costs? So the answer is straightforward. Fixed cost is a cost that will not change with the level of activity. Yes, is it true? Yeah. If your units are changing, will your fixed cost change? The answer is no. Technically, it should not, because fixed cost is a cost that is dependent upon the number of units. So whatever units, like 200 units, so whatever units you have planned in your fixed budget, so your fixed cost should be according to that, which means, for example, you are expecting 200 students to come in the school. So you need a school that is a one that can handle 200 students, for example, and that school you will take on rent, and the rent of that school is a fixed cost. So while making the budget, what will you do? You will estimate the rental of that building. Now, whatever rent you have estimated, it's a fixed cost, and you've included that in your budget. This means once you start the school, your fixed cost technically should not change. And why is that? Because if you have 10 students, if you have 100 students, if you have 150 students, the fixed cost is a cost that should remain constant. Is that so? But if in actual world, or when the actual results are there, and if the fixed cost is different from what you have estimated, so this means there is some problem in planning, there is some problem in your estimation, or maybe there is some problem in your actual. You have overspent it. So this budget is useful for controlling fixed cost, because whatever fixed cost that you have set in the fixed budget, technically, if your actual results are different or your units are changing, your fixed cost technically should not change. So whatever fixed cost you have set in fixed budget, it should be in actual results as well. But if there is not the case, then there is a chance, there is a room to control the fixed cost. What negative does it has? Cannot be compared with like. Okay. Yeah, fixed budget is a one that you cannot compare like with like. Reason, it is prepared at a single activity level, which is a fixed level, and your actual results may be different. So if your actual results are different, let me give you a quick idea. Once the first year of school ended, actual students were 300, for example. Now you tell me, if actual students are 300 and the budget that you had prepared is at 200, you decide, my friends, is it possible for you to compare a 300 actual result with a 200 fixed budget? Come on, say yes or no. Is it possible for you to decide? Come on, I need answers from you. So the answer is no. Why? Because this is not a like with like comparison. Getting my point, my friends? Yes or no? So yes, if your fixed budget is at 200 and your actual units are at 300, so it is not something that you can compare, and this is not a like with like comparison. You cannot compare the actual result of 300 with 200 fixed budget, so it is not useful for comparing like with like, because the objective of fixed budget is never to compare. So what is the objective? The objective is to set direction for the organization, set broad objectives. Okay, so having discussed about fixed budget, the next should be flexible budget, but I'll just hold flexible budget a bit here. And now I will move towards rolling budgets first. Now, why I've shifted to rolling budgets, I'll just tell you in a while. And we are at rolling budgets. So what I'll do here, listen, my friends, what I'll do here, I'll use a different policy here, and that will be, we'll do a revision of a topic, and then we'll directly move towards the past paper to see its application. Like this, you are able to understand how topic will be tested in the exam. Okay. So done with fixed budget. Yes, we'll come back to flexible, incremental, and zero based. Right now, I am moving towards rolling budgets. So what are rolling budgets? Let's have a look. In rolling budgets, there are three things that we'll be discussing here. There are three things that we'll be discussing in rolling budgets. The first, the definition of rolling budgets. Second, its suitability. Third, its advantages and disadvantages. Okay. A quick idea as to how many times rolling budget has been tested in the past. So let's look here in our budgeting analysis. This question came on incremental. This was on flexible budget. This was rolling budget. This was rolling budget. This was incremental, this was zero based, this was flexible, incremental, and participation approaches. So rolling budget has been tested twice. One for 20 marks, where 8 marks were calculation, 12 marks for theory, and the second entire 20 marks theory, which means rolling budget has been tested more for theory than calculations. Okay. Now moving back to the slide of rolling budgets, let's decide and define what rolling budget actually is. Now, point number one, I'm just reading quickly. Updated by adding a further period, deducting the earliest period. Okay. Annual plan is broken down into months and quarters. Okay. Detailed plan for immediate period and less detailed plan for others. Okay. So there are 3 points. Okay. Let me explain you what exactly these 3 points means, and listen very carefully, because after this we'll quickly jump to a question where we'll be practically doing the application of this. Now, let's take an example. The example is, you are making a 12-month plan, which means an yearly plan. Okay? 12-month plan. Fixed budget is a one that is prepared for 1 year. Okay? Fixed budget is prepared for 1 year. That is an yearly plan. Rolling budget is opposite to that. So I'm comparing fixed with rolling here. Rolling budget is opposite to that. And why is that? It's a 12-month plan. And when I say 12-month plan, means 1 year. So you will say here, it's the same thing. In fixed budget, we make a yearly plan. So again, you are making a yearly plan. No, it's not that. I'll divide this yearly plan into maybe 4 quarters. This is quarter 1 for me. This is quarter 2 for me. Listen very carefully, everybody. This is quarter 3 for me. And this is quarter 4. In fixed budget, we were not bifurcating or dividing that budget into different quarters. Here, we are dividing it into 4 quarters. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. The question is why? Listen, the answer is when there is uncertainty in the market, when conditions are dynamic, please listen very carefully what I'm saying, okay? When conditions are dynamic, when things are changing very fast in the market, so what you do, you break the annual plan into different small chunks. For example, if market is changing every 3 months, and so what is changing in the market? Maybe the exchange rate is changing a lot, inflation rate is changing a lot, demand supply condition is changing a lot. So if changes are very frequent in the market, maybe every 3 months these are changing, maybe every month these are changing. So this is known as uncertain situation. This is known as dynamic situation. Are you getting my point, guys? So this is dynamic situation. So when changes are so much frequent in the market as to things are changing, interest rate, exchange rate, which means your fixed budget will be of no use. You can't use fixed budgets to your advantage. Why? Because if you make a budget at the start of the year, so by the end of the year, because of so much changes in the market, your fixed budget will become obsolete. Your fixed budget will become outdated. So then there will be no use of making budgets. So what is the solution to that? What is the answer to that? The answer is, my friends, come on, say what is the answer? The answer is rolling budgets. Yes. So because of uncertain situation, as interest rate, exchange rate, demand is changing a lot, we will break the annual plan into different quarters. So why you chose quarters? My assumption is that changes are quarterly here. It could be monthly as well. If changes are quarterly, so I'll break into quarters. Now, done. Let me give year number 2006. Okay. For the first quarter, I'm standing here. Okay, I'm standing here. For the first quarter, I will do detailed planning. Okay. What I'll do? I'll do detailed planning. Are you following me, everybody? For first quarter, I'll do detailed planning. Okay. And for the remaining quarters, I will do planning, but that will be less detailed planning. Try to understand. For the remaining quarters, it will be less detailed planning. Okay. So for first quarter, the planning is detailed one. For the remaining quarters, we have done a less detailed planning. Great. A quick question. Why less detailed? Because every quarter things change. So if every quarter things are changing or most of the things are changing, it's useless to plan for those quarters. So what we do, we have made a detailed plan for the coming quarter, where we can expect things to remain constant, because as I mentioned, every 3 months things will change. Okay, so let's detail planning for the remaining quarters. The only thing we are planning for those quarters is those that will remain constant. I'm talking about quarter 2, 3, and 4. Now, first quarter expires. Expires. You will get what? You will get actual results. Okay. As first quarter expires, you will get actual results. Great. Listen what happens. Once first quarter expires, you get actual results. What will you do? As the first quarter expires, you will add another quarter into the budgeting period. Okay. Quarter 1 expired. So you are left with quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and you will add one more quarter, that is quarter 1 of 2007. Are you all with me, friends? Say yes or no. So yes, 2007. A quick yes from everybody just to see you are active or not. Come on. A quick one. Everybody, be fast. Okay. I need you to be energetic here. So 2007, quarter 1. You will add another quarter into the budgeting period. Fine. Great. Okay. Let's come back to here. Detailed planning was done for quarter 1. Once quarter 1 got expired, you will compare that quarter 1 results with actual results. So when you compare budget with actual, what you get, my friends? You get variances. You get differences. So here you will get the differences. Here you will find the differences. Okay. There will be investigation done here. You will do the investigation, and in this investigation, there will be two types of variances that you will get. One will be uncontrollable, something that your managers cannot control, and one will be controllable. Okay. For controllable, you are answerable to the management. Uncontrollable are the one which you cannot do anything. Let me give you an example. In quarter 1, you are expecting inflation to be 10%. Okay, inflation to be 10%. But because of uncertainty in the market, inflation went to 15%. It's an uncertain market. You can expect things to be the way you are thinking. Things will change. Now, decide. You tell me quickly, everybody. Inflation is something which the management can control. Say yes or no. Come on, say yes or no, everybody. You need to be active with me. No, this is something management cannot control. If management cannot control, which means management is not answerable for this, right? So if management is not answerable for this, which means these are the things which you cannot control. So for all those uncontrollable factors which the management cannot control, we will incorporate these into our coming budget periods. We will incorporate these into our coming quarters, into our coming budgets. Are you getting my point? Okay. As for the break, Asad Ullah, I will give the break. Just wait. I have my plan. I'll share with you. I'll give you a break. So please just focus on what I'm explaining here. So for uncontrollable factors, because we can't control these, we'll incorporate those into the budgeting period. Great. Agreed? Once you incorporate those into the budgeting period, because this is uncontrollable, so incorporation of these into the remaining quarters will make them up to date. Yes, my friends, rolling budget requires you to make things up to date. Requires you to make things up to date. So you have to make things up to date. Uncontrollable means like inflation, Conan, like inflation is something management cannot control, right? So if something is out of your reach and that is a market change, so that is uncontrollable and you have to incorporate that into the remaining quarters. Okay. So once uncontrollable factors are incorporated into the next period budgets, so your budgets will become more realistic and up to date according to market conditions. So let me quickly repeat this to sum up this. Once the first quarter expires, okay, once the first quarter expires, another quarter will be added in the budgeting period. Great. The actual result of the first quarter will be compared with its detailed plan. Clear? All those uncontrollable factors will be incorporated into next period budgets. Will be incorporated into next period budgets. Are you getting my point? Will be incorporated into next period budgets to make them more realistic. Done? Okay. What will happen next? Come on, tell me. Which is the next immediate quarter? Which is the next immediate quarter? Come on, guys, respond. Just talk to me. What is the next immediate quarter? It's quarter two. So what we will do? For quarter two, now because quarter two is immediate one, we will be doing detailed planning for quarter two. Yes, things change quarterly. So it is easy for us to plan quarterly. So for the next quarter, we will be doing a detailed planning for the immediate quarter and for the remaining quarters. So which one are the remaining ones? Quarter 3, quarter 4 and 1 will be doing less detailed planning. Are you all with me? Say yes or no. So for the remaining quarter, we'll do less detailed planning, and for the immediate quarter, we will be doing detailed planning. Great. The last thing. You tell me, the last thing. Tell me, everybody, are you ready? Once quarter 2 expires, what will happen? Once quarter 2 expires, what will happen? I'm checking your knowledge. Once quarter 2 expires, what will happen? We'll do two things. We will do two things. Two things. Number one, we'll add quarter 2 of 2007. Yes. And what else? Tell me. We will compare quarter 2 plan with quarter 2 actual results. Okay. Quarter 2 plan with quarter 2 actual results. And what else? And the differences which are uncontrollable will be incorporated into next quarters. Getting the point, guys? Yes. So like this, what is going on? Like this, we are able to up to date our budgets. Like this, we are able to make our budgets more realistic. Like this, we are able to incorporate the market conditions, the market changes into our budgets. Okay, great. For controllable differences, Nehil, for controllable differences, who is asking this question? Yeah, ACCA for controllable variances, we will ask managers to improve their performance, but we will not revise our budget for that. Okay, the budget revision will only be done for uncontrollable factors. Getting the point, Eza? So yes, for controllable variances, we will ask them to improve their performance because this is in their control. But for uncontrollable variances, we will incorporate that into the budget to make them more realistic. Gone? Done? Dusted? Say yes or no. Everybody, clear? Should we move? So this is how it moves on every time. You roll forward the budget, you add a quarter, and like this, your budgeting moves on. And like this, your quarters are updated according to market conditions. Okay? Perfect. Now, coming back to the slides. Now it will make more sense. Updated by adding a further period and deducting the earliest period. This is what we saw. Annual plan is broken down into months and quarters, and this depends on what? This depends on uncertainty. This depends on uncertainty, how much uncertain the conditions are. Okay. Detailed planning for immediate period and less detailed for others. As I mentioned, detailed planning for immediate because we can plan realistically for that quarter, and for all other quarters because things will change, we can't plan so much realistically for them, right? So suitability is uncertain conditions. In uncertain conditions, fixed budgets are not useful because they are not changed. Once you make fixed budget, you don't change them. They are prepared at a single activity level, so they become obsolete, outdated. So the solution for that is rolling budgets. So you understand the comparison of fixed with rolling? The answer should be yes. Got it, everyone? Through? Okay. What's your feedback? Are you understanding things right? Please tell me. Perfect. Is it clear? Everybody, is it easy for you to understand? Tell me. Okay, thank you very much. So, this is rolling budget. Now, having said that, we make budgets quarter wise. What positives will this bring? Understand positives and negatives. Okay, and I will make sure that you learn this very easily. What advantage one will be there? Uncertainty will be reduced or eliminated? Reduced. Uncertainty will be reduced. Yes, it will be reduced. So it's you. Why reduced? Because all uncontrollable factors are incorporated into the budget, and this will make your budget more realistic. It will be according to the market conditions. Okay. Second, control will be based on recent plan. Now you tell me, I'm asking you people, everybody, you want to read an outdated F5 book or an recent book, updated book? From which book you want to read or prepare yourself? Outdated or a updated one? So the answer is updated one. Updated one. I want answers from everybody, please. Updated one. Yes. So when you have realistic budgets, your controlling will be done on the basis of that realistic budgets. As you are revising the budget according to market condition changes, you will be controlling according to the updated budget. Yes. So control will be based on recent plan. Number 3, budgeting process will be considered seriously by the managers. Why? Because they know that this is a serious process. They know that they can't take this for granted. Every time one quarter ends, they need to be ready for the next one. So they will take this as a serious process because they need to make up, they need to prepare a realistic budget. Okay. So process will be considered seriously by the managers. Agreed, my friends? Okay. So come on. Let's make a mnemonic. Are you ready? With Rizwan Mania. So the mnemonic is cup. Come on, say. Just write it. Cup. Mnemonic is cup. Yes. C for control. U for uncertainty. P for process. C for control. U for uncertainty. P for process. Let's learn things. Let's learn things. Okay. So what is the mnemonic of advantages of rolling budget? The answer is cup. Great, great. Coming towards the drawbacks, negatives. Is it really a time consuming activity? The answer is yes. Yes. Every time one quarter ends, you have to do planning for the next one. and constantly it will take lot of time, resources. Your people will be engaged into this work again and again and again. And if you are short of staff, this problem will be more exaggerated. So time consuming activity. Secondly, less control over the actual result. Is it true? Is it true? Listen, you are so much involved in budgeting. You are so much involved in budgeting that you might not have the time to control the results, because this is a drawback. So try to understand, there is a possibility that you are so much involved into budgeting that you might not have the time to control the actual results. What is the purpose of making a budget? Sir, the purpose of making a budget is to control actual results. Agreed. Agreed. But what will happen if you're so much involved in planning, so you can't control the actual results? So this is a disadvantage, that you will not have the time. Third, might be considered as non-value adding activity. Might be considered as non-value adding activity. So what is non-value adding? Listen, if I ask you a simple question, if you are desperate to get something, have you ever been desperate to get something in your life? Come on, say yes or no. Yeah. So if you're desperate to get something in your life, and once you will get that, once you will avail that thing, so the importance will go down. Once you get that thing, the importance goes down. Yes? You need something. I need to pass ACCA. I need to pass ACCA. I need to pass ACCA. A day will come, you will be ACCA. Say yes. Okay? So once you will become ACCA affiliate, obviously the importance of that will go down. So there is a case here as well. Due to so much of budgeting work that the managers are doing, they might consider this as a non-value adding activity. They will say, oh, too much of budgeting. Now we are frustrated with that, and they might consider this as a non-value adding activity. Okay? So there is a possibility that they consider this as a non-value adding activity. Now, one student was asking about second point. So let me tell you, less control over actual result means if you will be so much involved in the budgeting, so you might not have the time to control the actual results. You might not have the time to control the actual results because you are so much involved in the budgeting. So this is a possibility that too much of budgeting will not give you time to control the actual result, because the purpose of budgets is to do controlling. Okay. So are you ready for the shortcut? The mnemonic. So what is the mnemonic? The mnemonic is can. Come on, just write it. Mnemonic is can. Yes. C stands for control. A stands for activity. N stands for non-value adding activity. Okay. So advantages, cup. Drawbacks, can. Rolling budget has been discussed in a detailed way. I hope this is clear to all of you. Guys, what's your feedback? Going good? Yes or no? Is it going good? Yes or no? Easy or difficult? Okay. Now, see this slide. Excited to see this slide? Are you excited to see this slide? What's written here? Let's make theory our strength. How many of you are weak in theory? How many of you are weak in theory? Tell me. Everybody almost, right? So yes, are you ready to make your theory strong now? So I will help you to do this. I will help you to make your theory strong. And today is the session where your theory will be very much improved. Very much improved. Okay? But before that, just send me a WhatsApp so that I can share the group link with you people. December 2020 group link. And I will share all important slides with you people. And the entire support will be given to you till the last day of exam. So please just send me a quick WhatsApp. 5-minute break here. Let's refresh ourselves. Let's refresh ourselves. Let's take a 5-minute break. Let's have tea, coffee, water. And after we join, we will be covering theory and see how I will make your application easy. Okay? So do give me your feedbacks. Do remain in the session. It's the first day. I'm your tutor Rizwan Mania. We'll catch you in 5 minutes. Okay, guys, let's now make our theory easy. So, are you all ready? A quick yes. Right. Let's now start. Now, I will be taking a very practical approach here. And here, I want your participation to be maximum. Okay? Now, listen. There are two things that I need to share with you people for theory. And do give me your feedbacks if you like that approach. The first thing is, for theory-based questions like the one that are tested in budgets, it's extremely important to understand the question requirements. And this is the biggest weakness of my students. So my suggestion is break every requirement into verbs and objects. Now, object is also known as element. Element. Okay. So object is also known as elements. So what are verbs and what are objects? So the answer is verb is discuss, illustrate, explain, compare, calculate. These are verbs. These are verbs. And according to verb, you have to write the answer. Discuss is different to illustrate. Illustrate is different to explain, compare, and calculate. So we are very much good when it comes to the verb of calculation. My friends, discussion, illustration, explanation actually tells you the extent of your answer, that how much to write, how much less to write. So it actually gives you the idea of the boundary of your answer. Okay. So every question includes a verb and it also includes an object as well. So what are the objects? Few examples. Discuss problems of zero-based budget. Now, problems of zero-based budget is an object. So, what to discuss is problems. So, how to write about problems? You must know the drawbacks of zero-based budget, and through the drawbacks, you can write the problems. Okay? So, discuss the problems of zero-based budget. I'm working on weaker areas of the student. Okay? And do give me your feedback whether it will improve your understanding or not. Second, illustrate using ratios. So now the object is what? Ratios. You have to work out the ratios. Okay. Explain what? Steps of activity based costing. Steps of activity based costing. So now the object is what? Steps of activity based costing. Steps are the object. If you have identified the right object, if you have identified the right element, you can't write other things other than the element. One example, if you are required to write the steps of activity based costing, so you tell me, will you write definitions of that? No, not at all. Will you write advantages and disadvantages of that? No, you will not. You will just write steps, and the marking scheme will be according to steps. Each step will have a mark. If you write definition, if you write advantage, disadvantages, no marks will be given to you by the examiner. Compare throughput accounting with marginal costing. So now the verb is giving you the idea that you have to compare two different techniques. So what you have to write here? You have to write those points that will compare the techniques, which means the differentiating points. For example, throughput accounting is a technique which says that material is the only variable cost, whereas marginal costing is a technique that says that material, labor, variable overheads, all are variable costs. So now your answer will actually be highlighting the differences between the two. Are you getting the point? Now, if you start writing the definition of throughput accounting, you start writing marginal costing definition, no, you will not get marks for that. Calculate material mix variance. And I'm sure the last one is pretty much easy, which you know what you need to do. So it says calculate mix variance, that you can do very easily. So my friends, my point here is that identification of a verb and the object is important. If someone asks you, explain. So in return, you will ask, what to explain? So that what to explain answer is your object. What to explain answer is your object. Okay. So verb basically gives you the idea what exactly you have to do, and object gives you the idea for what you have to explain, what you have to discuss, what you have to compare, what you have to calculate. So this is your object. So determination of the right verb and an object in a question requirement gives you a really good chance to write accordingly. So my friends, before I move towards the next slide, let's summarize. Whenever we are solving a question of theory or calculation, what we gonna do? We will identify. Come on, tell me what we'll identify. We'll identify what the verb is and what the object is. What the verb is and what the object is. Okay? Clear? Remember, verb and object is what we'll find out. Say yes. Okay. So, verb and object, clear? Let's move towards the next point. What type of question is? What type of question is? Whether it's a knowledge-based question or it's an application-based question. Sir, what is a knowledge-based question? A knowledge-based question is a one in which you can write your text book knowledge. Textbook knowledge with no linking. With no linking. Okay. So it's a textbook knowledge with no linking to be made. No need to link. It's a textbook answer. For example, list down the advantages of rolling budget. So what you will write? CUP, cup. Control point, uncertainty point, process point. That's it. Knowledge based. Comparatively much easier with less marks in the paper. Comes application based, where your knowledge needs to be applied in question. Where your knowledge needs to be applied in question. Now, what this one is? It's very clear. It's a different one. This is a one where your knowledge will be applied into the question. You have the knowledge, but your answer will be according to the scenario. Now, if you write general, you will not be awarded with marks. Now you have to write according to the case study. Now you have to write according to the question scenario that is given. So this second is a bit tough one with more marks in the paper. So my friends, knowledge base, simple, less marks. Application base, more tough, requires more for more marks. What you need to do? You need to use your knowledge about that particular topic and apply that in the scenario. And apply that in the scenario. Getting the point? Knowledge base, application base. Okay, now let's master our new skills. Let's master our new skills. Listen, my friends. For every question, tell me, for every question that relates to theory especially, for every question that relates to theory especially, Everybody should answer. What are the two things we have to look? Tell me, what are the two things we have to look? Number one, what is the verb and the object? Come on, right? Everybody say, what is the verb and what is the object? Okay, great. And what is the second one? What is the second one? Tell me, whether it's knowledge based or application based. Whether it's knowledge based or application based. Come on, respond fast, everybody. Yeah. So the first is verb and object. Second, knowledge based or application based. Are you ready? Say yes. Let's master our skills. Okay. I will, inshallah, I will convert your weakness into strength. Okay. Let's try. Example 1. Budget theory questions. LRA came in June 2015. Question 5, part 1. Read the question and write here verb and objects. Let's quickly practice and develop our skills. Okay, I'm looking at the screen here where there is a chat box given. I'm looking at your answers. The question bar I'm talking about. The first, describe the main steps involved in preparing ZBB. Come on, tell me. Verb and objects. First, tell me verb and objects. Everybody, come on. You have to get into the lecture right now. Come on, you can't just sit and listen me. I will give you the confidence that is required. Okay, so the verb is describe. Great. Now, what to describe? What to describe is what? Object. What to describe is object. So what is the object? Is object zero-based budget? Or the object is main steps of zero-based budget? So the object is main steps. Now, this is for 3 marks. This was tested in paper for 3 marks. So you will not get marks for writing definition. You will not get marks for writing advantages and disadvantages. You will only get 3 marks for writing the steps of zero-based budget. Yes, the steps of zero-based budget. Okay, done. Next one. LRA June 2015 question 5 part 2. But before that, one more thing. Is this first part knowledge based or application based? Tell me. What do you think? Knowledge or application? Come on, respond please. Yeah, perfect. It's a knowledge based question. It's a knowledge based question. You are 100% right. Knowledge based question where you have to keep in mind the steps of zero based budget and just write it down. Perfect. Second, discuss the problems which LRA is a company, may encounter if it decides to introduce and use zero-based budget to prepare its budget for the coming financial year for 9 marks. Come on, tell me. Verb and objects. I'm waiting for your answers. Write about verb and tell me about object as well. Okay, so the verb is discuss. Exactly. Now, what to discuss? What to discuss? Tell me. What to discuss? Problems. Problems LRA will face in introducing zero-based budget. Yes, problems. So you have to discuss the problems which LRA will face. Getting the point? Okay. Now, if you write anything else, you will not get marks for that. So what problems are? Problems are what? Problems are drawbacks. So what you can do, listen my friends, what you can do, the drawbacks that you have in your mind of zero-based budget, so you can relate those drawbacks with the scenario, relate those drawbacks with the scenario and write scenario-based drawbacks. Write scenario-based drawbacks. Okay. Quickly, is it application-based or knowledge-based? Quick one. So the answer is, yeah, awesome response. Awesome response. This is what I want. It's application based. But can any one of you tell me very quickly why it's application based? Why? Because it says problems which LRA will encounter. Problems specific to LRA. So yes, it's application based. Problem specific to LRA. Got it? Getting the confidence, tell me. Improving the confidence, yes or no? Improving the confidence. Did you like this $1,000,000 technique? Encounter means it will face. Okay, encounter means it will face. Mohammad Zarar Khan. Great. So the drawbacks that you know in your mind, you don't have to write those. Just relate that to scenario and I'll teach that as well. Okay. So this is LRA question. After, once at the end of the session, I will share the link of this session. I've covered this in previous webinar. I'll give you the link. We'll share on my WhatsApp group. You can watch this video with the same understanding I'm giving you. It will master your skills. Okay. But follow my plan. If you will not follow the plan, then you can't do anything. Getting the point? Great. Now, quick one. This you will do from homework. Tell me about this one. Question Newtown School. June 2013 question part 5. Question 5 part 2. Tell me please. Verb and objects. Be fast. Verb and objects. Okay. The verb is discuss. What to discuss? What to discuss? What to discuss? Advantages and disadvantages. Yeah. Knowledge based or application based? Knowledge based or application based? Tell me, knowledge based or application based? Yeah, it's knowledge based. It's knowledge based. Exactly. You have to use textbook advantage and drawbacks and just write it down. So it's knowledge based. Perfect. Okay, great. Now, this you will. Okay, so what do you think? Did it help? Did this help you? Did this help you? Yes. I'll tell you about the marks. Mohammad Ghani, I'm moving towards the past paper question. So now we are clear. We have to look at two things. We have to break verb and objects. We have to break in verb and objects. Number two, we have to find knowledge based or application based. Is that clear? Done? Okay. Now it's time to move towards the past paper, section C. Are you all ready? Great. Let's start with our first question and let's apply the same thing and learn how to draft. Now listen, even if you have done this question before, for example, don't think that you know the answer. Just learn the techniques that I'm explaining you. Because a question that will come in your paper obviously will be a new one. It will be a new one, okay? So what you want to learn here is the technique, how I'm solving the question. So let's start reading the question and let's see what exactly we have to do here. So my recommendation first to you is that read the requirements first. Read the requirements first so that you get to know what the basic things are and you'll be better able to relate to the scenario. So let's read the requirement first. And find verb and objects and tell me knowledge or application base. I'm reading the question. Once I am done with the first question, I must be seeing the answer. I want to see your answers of verb and objects and knowledge or application based. Okay? So be ready. Explain what budget is and how it would operate at the company. Now, what is the verb? So, sir, it's clear. The verb is explain. And what is the object? Come on, object. Object is what monthly rolling budget is. Okay. So, object number one is what? And normally after the word and, there is another requirement. So, after this word and, it says how it would operate at the company. So, this how is another object. So one verb explain and two objects. One verb explain and two objects. Number one, what a monthly rolling budget is and how it will be operate. And how it will operate at the company. So explain what and how. Explain what and how. Getting the point? Understood? So now your answer should be mentioning about what and how. Now, if I ask you, what is your name? Listen, what is your name? And you in return say me, go this way, and go this way, and you will reach to my house. Hello, I'm asking your name, and you are explaining me the address of your home. This is the problem, my friends. Examiner will not give you marks if you will not follow the object. What is your name? You should say, my name is Rizwan Mania. How you eat? How you eat? And in return, you started telling, I eat vegetables, I like fish, I like ice cream, I drink cold drinks. I'm asking how you eat. And in return, you are saying, I like cold drink. Is this the right answer? Tell me. No, no. So if I'm asking you how you eat, so what you will tell me? I eat through spoon, I eat with hands. That's it. How you eat. Great. 4 marks. Knowledge based or application based? Knowledge based or application based? Tell me. It's application based. Why? Because we have to keep in mind the company. Okay. So whatever I'll write will be keeping in mind the company. Great. Second, discuss the problems that may be encountered if company decide to introduce monthly rolling budgets together with a new bonus scheme such as one outlined above. Okay, so what is the verb? Verb is discuss. Verb is discuss. Okay, what is the object, friends? Problems that may be encountered if company decides to introduce monthly rolling budget. So object is what? Problems. If company uses monthly rolling budgets, so what will be the problem? Okay. Together with new bonus schemes such as one outlined above, we'll come back to this one. Let's read the third requirement. Discuss the problems with the current bonus scheme and assuming the company decide against introducing rolling budgets, describe and justify an alternative, more effective bonus scheme that could be introduced. Okay. The fourth one is discuss the risk using company's accountant own spreadsheet for budgeting. So by reading the questions, it is very much clear that there are certain things mentioned in the scenario regarding the new bonus scheme, regarding the current bonus scheme. Let's go to the scenario and try to figure out what is exactly written here. Okay, please, let's read and I'll exactly tell you how to link things with the scenario. So be with me. Okay. Now the question is, I'll tell you the difference here. Okay. I'll tell you the difference. Designate is a small company. Please be with me. Designate is a small company providing design consultancy to a limited number of large clients. The business is mature and fairly stable year on year. This is important. It has 30 employees and is privately owned by its founder. Company prepares an annual fixed budget. Annual fixed budgets. Okay. The company's account department consists of one part qualified accountant who has a heavy workload. He prepares the budget using spreadsheets. The company has a November year end. Company pays each of its 3 sales manager an annual salary of 1,50,000 plus an individual bonus based on sales target at the beginning of the year. Okay. There are always 2 levels of bonus that can be earned based on lower and upper level of fee income. For the year ended 30th November, for example, each of the sales manager was given a lower target of securing 1.5 million of fee income, each to be awarded by an individual bonus equating to 20% of the salary. If any of the managers secured a further 1.5 million of fee income, their bonus will increase by 5% to upper target of 25%. Okay. None of the managers achieved the upper target, but all of them achieved the lower target. Clear? So what the idea is, annual salary 150,000. They are getting 2 levels of bonuses. One, secure 1.5 million and they will get 20% of the salary. If they exceed that 1.5 million, they will get further 5% as a reward, and that makes to 25%. First 20 and then add 5% more, that makes 25. Okay. This is the same every year, and company finds that often managers secure work from several major clients early in the year and reach 1.5 million target well before the year has ended. Okay. Now if I ask you, you earn a revenue of 1.5 million and I'll give you 20% of your salary as a bonus. And then if you achieve more 1.5 million, I will give you just 5% of your salary. What would you do? Will you focus on securing 1.5 million and getting 20%, or you will be focusing on both the targets? Tell me, the first one or both? So your focus will be on the first one, because you know that if you achieve 1.5 billion first, you can get 20% of the salary. So it's a bigger bonus you are getting here. Okay. And this is what happened. This is same every year, and company finds that often managers secure work from several major clients early in the year and reach 1.5 million target well before the year has ended. Okay. Then they make very little effort to secure extra fee for the company, knowing that it would be almost impossible to hit the second target. This, together with few other problems have arisen, has made the company consider whether its current budgeting process would be improved and whether bonus scheme should be changed. Designate is now considering replacing the fixed budget with monthly rolling budgets. Okay, monthly rolling budgets, which Designate believes will make the budgeting process more relevant and timely and encourage managers to focus on the future rather than past. It would also prevent the problem of targets being met too early on in the year by sales manager does the target by the sales manager because the targets would be set for monthly performance rather than annual performance. For example, a manager could be given a target of securing 200,000 fee income in the first month for a reward of 2% of salary. Then, depending on what is happening both within the business and in the economy as a whole, at the end of the first month, a different target fee income could be set for the second month. Okay, let's start with the drafting of this answer. Okay, so let's start the drafting. Now, be with me, okay? Be with me. First part, I'll tell you how to write. First part, verb is explain, and we'll show you the drafted answer as well. And what is the object? So your answer should cover two things. What monthly rolling budget is and how it will operate. Monthly. So you have to define monthly rolling budgets. Now, it's an application based. You have to keep in mind LRA. Yes. But what exactly can you write here? So see what I'll do here. Okay. I'll go to my slides, and what I will do is I will recall the basic definition, this one, and I will write this as if I'm writing for as if I'm writing for designate company. I will use the designate name, and entire explanation will be according to designate company. So my answer will say that designate company will break an annual plan into months, not in quarters, because it's monthly rolling budget. Okay, and detailed planning will be done for every month, whereas less detailed planning will be done for remaining months. Are you getting the point? So exactly, I'll write the definition of rolling budgets, but will be using designate as an example, and in my answer I will mention about monthly rolling budgets. If I write the definition in this way, so it will fulfill my two objectives, and that is what and how. What and how both will be covered in this way. So let's read the answer. Let's read the answer. Okay. Now, how to approach the answer? Listen, do follow my plan here, okay? Okay. Now, the first part had a verb, and the verb was what? Verb was explain. Explain. So what to explain? What and how? Okay. Answer pointers. What is answer pointers? Answer pointers basically will give you the idea that how much you have to write, what you have to write, how much you have to write. So it says recall definition and link with scenario. It is giving you the guidance. The rolling budget outline for designate would be budget covering 12-month period. See, I'm writing according to designate and would be updated monthly. Great. However, instead of 12-month period remaining static, it would always roll forward by 1 month. As you know, as the first period expires, we will add another month into the budget. When the budget is initially prepared for year ending 30th November 2013, the first month is prepared in detail. Remember, detailed planning, with less detailed planning given to the later months where there is a greater uncertainty about the future. As soon as 1 month has elapsed, the corresponding month 1 year later is added into the budget. It's the same definition, but I'm writing according to designate company. Also, the necessary market changes identified from the first month actual results are incorporated into the next month budget to ensure the budget updated according to market condition. So tell me, is it the same definition? Say yes or no. Yes, it's the same definition. But how I've written here, it looks like I'm writing 100% for designate company. Getting the point? Understood? Easy. So by reading this answer, what do you think? Have we answered about what a rolling budget is and how will it operate? Yes, we have explained what it is and how it will operate. Getting the point? Say yes or no. Okay? True? Clear? Understood, everybody? Okay, perfect. Now, done with this part. Comparatively, it was easier to handle. Let's come back to the question. Now, here we need to think. Second one, verb. What is the verb? Discuss. Okay, discuss. What to discuss? Object. Problems that may be encountered if designate decides to introduce monthly rolling budgets. Try to understand. You have to discuss the problems that the company will face. Okay, problems of rolling budgets. Okay, is it only this what is asked? No, together with new bonus scheme such as one outlined above. So there are one objects or two. So the answer is two objects. First, you have to discuss the problems of rolling budget, and then you have to discuss the problems of new bonus scheme. Are you getting the point, guys? First, you have to discuss the problem of rolling budget, and then you have to discuss the problem of new bonus scheme. Both things need to be answered here. So how many objects are there? There are two objects. There are two objects. Got it? Now, the marks are how much? The marks are 6. Okay? The marks are 6. So how will you split the marks? Approximately, you can say 3 marks here, 3 marks here. 3 to 4 marks for problems of rolling budget, 3 to 2 marks for problems of new bonus scheme. Either 4:2 ratio or 3:3 ratio. Getting the point? So there are two elements here, problem of rolling budgets and problem of new bonus scheme. Now, if you just write about problems of bonus scheme, you will not get the other marks. Or you will just write about problems of rolling budget, you will not get the other marks. So you have to ensure you write about both the things. Getting the point? So let's discuss how to write. I'll start first with the problems of rolling budget, and I will be scenario specific here. So let's see how to become scenario specific. Now, how can I approach the answer? So let me tell you. Do you remember the problems of rolling budget? The shortcut, the mnemonic. Tell me the mnemonic. Come on, guys. What was the mnemonic? So the mnemonic was can. Okay. Can. Control. Less time for control. Activity is time consuming. May be considered as non-value adding activity. So I have to write for how many marks? 3 marks. 3 marks. Okay. So what will you do here? In case of first one, what can I do exactly? What points do I have here to link with the scenario? So it's very simple. It's very simple. You go to the scenario because it's an application based question, right? You have to tell according to designate company, application based. So you go to the scenario and let's mark the things using a different color. Let's mark the things. Number one, the company is fairly stable. So a company that is fairly stable, does it really require a monthly rolling budget? I don't think so. Conditions are stable, not uncertain. Second, they have a part qualified accountant. If they have a part qualified accountant, do you really think that part qualified accountant can make this hectic budget? Part qualified accountant who has a heavy workload. So he is the only one, and also part qualified, and heavy workload is on him. Now, just try to relate the problems of rolling budget can with this scenario. So what do you think? If there is just one person and he has a heavy workload, do you think rolling budget, if they start with rolling budget, what do you think? This will be more time consuming for them or not? Come on, say me yes or no. So the answer is, come on, tell me, yes. So what I can relate here is that one part qualified accountant is there, which means what? More time consuming. We all know rolling budget is time consuming. And if you have just one person there, it will further become time consuming for him. Clear link with the scenario. Secondly, if there is just one person handling this budget, do you think he will be able to control the actual results? Come on, tell me, say yes or no. So the answer is no. Less control over actual result. Just because of one qualified accountant, he will not be able to spend more time in this budgeting, which requires time. Plus, he will not have the time to control the actual results. So what we have learned is what we have applied here. This is application based. Okay, perfect. Secondly, the condition is fairly stable. Now, what do you think? If condition is fairly stable, so do they need monthly rolling budget? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because condition is still fairly stable. So maybe they can go for quarterly or 6 monthly, but going for monthly will be considered as a non-value adding activity because there are no many changes there. So if there are not major changes and you are doing frequent budgeting again and again and again, so this will be considered as a non-value adding activity. See, I have linked can with the scenario, and this is how you have to write. So due to frequent budgeting, it will not be considered value adding because changes are not there. So this you have to write in a paragraph form. Now, let me show you how. Let's go to the answer. We know the verb, we know the object. Okay, there are two objects. So what answer pointer says? Recall general drawbacks and link with scenario. Can. So let's see here. Designate only has one part qualified accountant. Agreed? One part qualified accountant. Overloaded, who probably has neither the time nor the experience to prepare rolling budgets every month, which will be time consuming activity. Got it? See how we have to write here. Also, one would expect only to see monthly rolling budget of this nature in business, which face rapid change and is going to require a lot of input from many of the staff, meaning that they will have less time to dedicate on controlling actual result. Less time to control actual result. Getting the point? Okay. There is no evidence that this is the case for designate, so maybe quarterly would be more appropriate for them. Are you getting my point, friends? Say yes or no. What's your feedback? So the way I have to write here is in front of you. I've related everything here with the scenario, and this will give you marks. And this is our weakness that we need to overcome. Got it? Say yes or no. Okay. So I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. How to write is in front of you. Approximately 3 to 4 marks you can gain in this way by mentioning about the problems of rolling budget. Agreed? Okay. Now, problems of new bonus scheme. So let's now see how to write the problems of new bonus scheme. For that, I need to read about new bonus scheme. So let's go to the respective paragraph. And here we have. It says, let's see. It says that a manager could be given a target of securing 200,000 fee income in first month for a reward of 2% of salary. Okay. Agreed. Then depending on what is happening both within the business and in economy as a whole, at the end of the first month, a different target fee income could be set for the second month. Okay. Now just imagine, what is their current policy? Their current policy is which one? Their current policy is what? That if they achieve 1.5 million revenue, they will get 20% of the salary. And if they achieve further 1.5%, question based, further 1.5%, so they get 5% further of their salary. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, if I ask you that, hello, now you will be given 2% if you achieve 200,000. Okay. 200,000. And after the end of the first month, we'll look at the situation in the market, and depending on what is going on in the economy, we'll give you a second month target. Now, tell me, will that be workable for you? What problem will you face? So the answer is, you will get demotivated. Why? You will say, okay, my first month target is 200,000. Fine. I will achieve it. But I'm not sure what target will be in the next month. If I ask you one thing, you will work here for 1 month, and after this 1 month, I'll tell you whether you will work in my company or not. And you will say, what is happening? Why? Why? And I told you that I will keep you on job and will tell you every month whether you are in the next month or not. So what you will say me? You will say, no, I will not work here. It's complete job insecurity. I don't know whether I will be in the company or not. This is the problem. The new bonus scheme will not be taken positively by the employees because they are already used to getting annual targets. They're already used to getting annual targets, and now working monthly will not be good for them. They will be demotivated. They don't know what target will be for the next month. They can't predict their bonus for the entire year. They don't know how much will be the target for the next month. So yes, this is a problem. This is a problem. Getting the point? Say yes or no. This is the problem that you will face here. What's your feedback? Tell me. So now what the answer will be, let's have a look. The sales manager may react badly to the new budgeting and incentive scheme. Why? They are used to have been seen set targets that are easily achievable. Okay. With this new system, they will have to work hard all year round because they don't know what will be the second month target. Okay. They are also likely to become frustrated with the fact that they do not know the target for the whole year in advance. Is it difficult? Tell me. Is it difficult? Everything had to be written from the scenario. Are you with me, everybody? Everything had to be written with the scenario. So approximately 2 to 3 marks you can gain here. That's it. It's just application. That's it. What's your feedback up till now? Did I make this easy or not? The weakest part, okay? Theory. I started with the area that is the most weakest one for you. Everybody, what's your feedback? Happy, everybody? Okay, great. Now, a quick test for you people to see how you will respond here. So be with me. The next question. You tell me verb and objects. Tell me verb and objects and tell me how the marks will split. So it says discuss the problems with the current bonus scheme. Assuming that company decides against introducing rolling budgets, describe and justify an alternative, more efficient bonus scheme that could be introduced. Okay, come on, tell me verb and objects and how will you break this? I'm going for a detailed explanation here. Tell me verb and objects and how will you split the things? Okay, so let me show you how will I make this easy for you. Remember, theory discussion takes time. The effort that I'm putting right now is very much obvious to all of you. I'm trying to make this problem a strength for you. Okay, so I hope you will appreciate that. Now, discuss is the verb. So, what to discuss? Problems. Okay. Problems with what? Current bonus scheme. Great. Assuming company decide against the new introducing rolling budgets. That's it. Okay, what else? Describe and justify. So what are these? These are other verbs. Describe. And not only describe, but also justify. Describe and justify an alternative, more effective bonus scheme. So describe and justify alternative bonus scheme is the object. Okay. Now, is this clear? 6 marks. 6 marks. 3 verbs. 3 verbs. 1, 2, 3. 3 verbs. And 2 objects. 1, 2. So first, discuss the problems of current bonus scheme, the one they have right now. And then describe and justify alternative bonus scheme. It's a 6 mark requirement. Let's split. Maybe I would say 4 marks, 2 marks, or you don't know the marking scheme in the paper, right? So maybe 3, 3. Okay. So this means you can get around 3 marks in each, or 4 or 2 marks here. Let's tackle this. Problems in the current bonus scheme. Let's go exactly to the problem. This is so easy, so easy. Everything is given in the scenario. Who says this is difficult? Just understand the application. You will love application. See, it says this is same every year. Designate find that often managers secure work from several major clients early in the year and reach 1.5 million target well before the year has ended. Then they make little effort to secure extra fee for the company, knowing it would be almost impossible to hit the second target. Is this the problem? Yes. What is the problem? People achieve the first target to get 20% of the salary bonus, which is the major chunk. And for the remaining 1.5 million, they don't do any effort. They know that if I will work hard and achieve first 1.5 million, I will get 20%. And for the remaining one, they don't do effort. Why? Because they know if they will do effort, they will just earn additional 5%. Additional 5%, which is mentioned here. That's it. 3 marks you will get by writing what is written in the scenario. Who says this is difficult? Understand theory. So let's have a look. Verb objects clear. Identify scenario based problems with current bonus scheme. Write in a paragraph. The issue with current bonus scheme is that first 1.5 million fee income target is too easy to reach, and second 1.5 million target is too hard to reach. Wow. Therefore, managers are not motivated to earn additional fees once the initial 1.5 million target has been reached. They will not be motivated. They will not be motivated. That's it. Can't you write this for 2 or 3 marks? Tell me. Easily you can write this and you will get 3 marks. What's your feedback? Is it getting easier? Yes or no? Come on. Give your input. Okay. Done. Very easy. Now, the alternative bonus scheme. You can mention your alternative, but make sure you have to just describe and justify that. Justification will give you marks. If you will not justify, you will not get marks. Yeah, 3 lines. You don't look at lines here. Just try to understand what you have to write. You have to write according to the object. That's it. Okay. Now describe and justify alternative bonus scheme. Whatever scheme is coming in your mind, just justify it. Mohammad Zarar Khan, what does this mean? Assuming that company decide against shooting product. In question, it is saying that if you assume company is not going for rolling budgets, which means if they will not go for rolling budgets, they will not go for new bonus scheme. Okay. So it is asking you that you tell what will be the new bonus scheme. Now, the best I think for sales is what? The best I think for sales is what? Commission based. It's commission based. The best one is commission based. And let me tell you, how will I tell? Explain about commission based. See, the salary is 150, right? Let's discuss what they're getting right now. Currently, 150,000 into 20%. It's 30,000. Okay. Right now they achieve 1.5 million target and they get 30,000 as a bonus. Agreed? They don't put additional efforts to secure other 1.5 billion. Agreed? Agreed? Okay. I hope this is clear. Which means they are earning 30,000 bonus by getting the revenue of 1.5 million, right? 1.5 million revenue. Okay. So this means their mindset is that, okay, 30,000 is acceptable if we achieve 1.5 million revenue. Let's compute the percentage here. How much percent is the commission of sales? If 30,000 is divided by 1.5 million, if 30,000 is divided by 1.5 million, how much is the percentage? Can you work out and tell me? It's 2%. Okay, it's 2%. Agreed? Which means they are getting 30,000 for 1.5 billion revenue, which exactly is 2% of the revenue. 2% of the revenue. So let's do one thing. Let's set 2% commission for $1 of sales, which means for every $1 of sales, you will get 2% of the commission. Now, what this will do? This will not put a barrier in their mind to achieve only first 1.5 million, but now they will focus on achieving more and more and more revenue. They will focus on achieving more and more and more revenue. The more the revenue, the more the commission. For more $1 earned, you get 2%. So it's 2% of revenue. So this will remove their bottleneck from their mind of 1.5 million. Justify your point, then you will get marks. Justify it. And what is my justification? This will remove the bottleneck from their mind that they have right now. Now their focus will be to achieve higher revenues. Justification is right. Say yes or no. So yes, this is what I will be writing here. Alternatively, the bonus could be replaced by commission, giving managers a reward as a percentage of fee income rather than a percentage of salary. Currently, the company is paying out 30,000 in bonus to each of its managers each year. This is 2% of 1.5 million. I did the working here. Okay, I did show you the working. 30,000 divided by 1.5 million. Therefore, the bonus could be that each manager earns 2% commission on sales, and like this, they will be motivated to achieve higher sales. Can't you write this for 3 to 4 marks or 2 to 3 marks? Tell me yes or no. In a paragraph form, you have to write. Tell me, is it okay? Did it become easier? What's your feedback? So this is how we have approached. And this answer pointer gives you a plan in your mind. Before you start writing, set a plan in your mind. Okay, my advantages, and I link with a scenario. Drawbacks, I link with a scenario. Is it application based or a knowledge based question? So this was again application based, where you had to use designate company as an example. For application based, Gani, there are many points available. Many points available. So yeah, you have to use the scenario. This is the best part. Yeah, I did mention here below, higher sales will be achieved. And this is my justification. I'm including here. Okay. Focus will not be only on 1.5 million now. This is the justification. This is what I have to write. Okay. So how did I work out 2%? Quickly, 150,000 is the salary. Currently, they get 20% of the salary, which makes 30,000. So by achieving 1.5 million fee, they get 30,000 as a bonus. So 30,000 divided by 1.5 million makes 2% of the revenue. 2% of the revenue. Okay. Monisha Nishat Sharma, is your answer, is your question answered? Okay. So 2%, this is how I worked out. So I made my justification that commission works well. So now I hope this is clear. We revised rolling budget, and we just quickly went to the question to test our knowledge. In exam, Zarar Khan, you cannot mention answer in bullets. You can't. You have to write in paragraphs. Okay. Understood? Fine. This is how you have to follow the answer the way I just showed you through paragraph. Yeah. One justification. Yeah. Now, not one justification. Aisha, there are two justifications. That they will be more motivated to achieve higher sales. They will not be the bottleneck of achieving 1.5 million. So this is the justification. Okay. Okay. So I hope this is clear to all of you now. No problems. And the way we just covered this rolling budget with a question, I hope it helped you. Now coming back to, let's quickly, yeah, you can apply this to all other questions. I'll give you a plan. Once we end the session today, I will tell you that what you exactly needs to do. Okay. Now, done with fixed budget, done with rolling budgets. What is a flexible budget? So let me quickly tell you flexible budget. Be with me. In the end, I'll share a plan. Now, flexible budget is a one that is prepared at number of different activity levels. Okay. Fixed budget cannot be compared like with like, but flexible budget is useful for comparing like with like. So this flexible budget is prepared at the planning stage as well as at ending stage. Okay. When you prepare this at ending stage, you call this as flexed budget. You call this as flexed budget. Now, you made a fixed budget at the start based on 200 students. Okay, 200 students. So this is fixed. Now, once you will get the actual results at the ending stage, once you will get the actual result at the ending stage, and for example, actual students were 300. So I told you, you can't compare these two. You can't compare these two. So what will you do? You will make a flexed budget based on 300 actual units. You will make a flexed budget based on 300 actual units. And now you can compare actual 300 result with actual 300 result with flexed 300 budget. So this means it allows you to control and compare like with like. It allows you to control and compare like with like. Agreed? Clear? So flexible budget, if prepared at ending stage, is known as a flexed budget, which ensures like with like comparison. And this is a budget that you prepare based on actual units. Actual units. And its purpose is to ensure like with like comparison, which was not possible in a fixed budget. True? Okay. Now, going back to the other budgets. Okay. Then we have incremental budget. I'll give you a quick recap. Okay. Incremental budget. This is a budget that starts from previous period budget or actual result. You start from previous period budget or actual result, in which you just justify two things: inflation and known change. In this, you just justify two things: inflation and known change. That's it. Okay. Inflation and known change. So, because you start from previous period actual result, this means you are assuming environment is stable. You are assuming environment is stable. That is why you can trust the past actual result. And you just justify two things: inflation and known change. So because you just have to justify inflation and known change, it is time saving activity, because you just need to justify increment. So this is a budget that you prepare quickly. You prepare quickly. What is increment? Sorry, what is inflation? We know that. What is known change? Any planned changes that you want to do in the coming year. For example, hiring new two staff, hiring staff members, or reducing the stationery costs. So these are known changes. Okay. But what is the problem? So listen, if conditions are not stable and both the periods vary a lot, the one that has ended and the coming one, so it will not be useful. And there are certain problems attached with incremental budget. And what are those? Previous period problems will be continued into the coming budget, which means in the current year that has just ended, We were not efficient. There was lots of wastage. There was lots of losses, and I'm talking about the abnormal losses here. So if in the previous period we were not economic, we were not efficient, we were not effective, there were lots of intentional losses that we did, we were careless, and that is why our actual cost went up. So all these will be transferred into the next year budget as well. So all the problems of previous period will be included in the next year budget. Why? Because we are starting from previous period. Same uneconomic activities that were in the previous period will continue in the future. And that is why we say it is an inefficient form of budget, because it might encourage wasteful spending. Because what all losses, unnecessary expenses you have incurred in the past year, you will continue to do this in the next year as well, because you are starting from the previous period. So yeah, previous period problems will be continued into the future. This is a major issue. But if conditions are stable, you can use this budget. Then comes the opposite of this zero-based budget, which says you have to start from a base of zero. Everything needs to be justified right from scratch. Everything needs to be justified right from a base of zero, scratch. No justification will be taken from the previous year. And the assumption will be that activity is being undertaken for the first time. Activity is being undertaken for the first time. So scratch is what you need to remember. You start from scratch. So what advantage will this bring? Obviously, it will increase staff involvement. And you know why? Because in zero-based budget, we prepare decision package. We prepare decision package. And I'll tell you how you will cover this, okay, if you want to revise. So you prepare decision package. And this decision package is prepared by each and every manager, departmental manager, which justifies why the activity is important. Decision package indicates the purpose of the activity, like canteen to be included in the budget. So you have to make a decision package for canteen. So every manager will make their own decision package. So it will motivate them. Secondly, it will ensure efficient allocation, because everything will be justified. Everything will be justified. So a good budget will be prepared. Number three, it will remove inefficiencies. It will remove inefficiencies. Okay? Clear? The problems that you saw in incremental will not be in zero based, because everything will be justified right from the scratch. But yes, because you are starting everything from scratch, it will be time consuming activity. Because every manager will prepare their own budget, they need to have the skills to construct decision package. Maybe they lack the skills, so you need to train them how to construct decision packages. And because you will look at different decision packages and will decide which is better for the company, like whether we should spend on canteen or on maintenance of AC, which should be first included in the budget. So here you need to rank which is the best one, and ranking may be difficult. Ranking may get difficult if activities benefits are subjective ones or are qualitative ones. So ranking may become subjective. Ranking may become difficult. Okay, so these are the flaws. For detailed understanding of these, I will just show you a final plan right now. Clear?
So as you see here, then we have activity-based budget that relates to overheads. We make budget for different overhead activities. So for this, we need to recap ABC. Once we'll recap ABC, activity-based budget will be more sensible then, and it will be more easy for me to explain activity-based budget. So once we are done with ABC, I'll just give you the idea what activity-based budget is. But remember, it is a budget that we prepare for different activities. So after ABC, I will explain you this, what activity-based budget is. So I hope this is clear. Now it's time for the $1 million plan. What will you do? Okay. Now these are the OTs. I will share the slide today group. Okay. So these are the OTs that you will solve. As you can see here, the OTs. Just solve these OTs, right? And after you are done with the OTs, now this is the $1 million plan. As I mentioned that budgets were tested 8 times. Budgets were tested 8 times. So I have shared the link here. Once I will share this slide, you will get the links. So zero-based budget had been covered in a very detailed way in my previous webinar. Just watch that. Rolling budget, other question. Rolling budget, other question was covered in another previous webinar. So here is the link. Do watch that. Newtown School Company is incremental budget. I've covered this in another webinar previously conducted. Do watch that. Like this, you will cover all the budgets question wise. This is my plan. This is my plan. Whatever we have done today is good. And now to cover other things, you just watch these videos. The links are there. It will give you the idea of that as well. Like this, you will prepare yourself completely for the budgets. Completely for the budgets. I hope you understand what I'm doing. There is also a concept of beyond budgets have been added new to the paper. I've covered this in my last March 2020 webinar. Here is the link. So first complete the OTs from this document and then do watch these videos for the completion of budget topic and you'll be ready for the exam with Rizwan Mania. Did you get my point? Say yes or no. Okay. Now, so I will share this. Now, you just send me the WhatsApp message if you haven't on this number. I will send you the group link tonight. And after that, I will share this slide. From that, you will solve the OTs and will watch the videos. The links are there. Just click that and the video will open. And if you follow the plan in these 5 days, your preparation will be done. Okay? So tell me 2 things before we end. Will you follow my plan? Do you trust me? Tell me. Do you trust me? Say yes or no. Let me see how many trusts. How many people will trust me? Do you want to prepare in these 10 to 12 days? Say yes or no. Do you want to prepare yourself in 10 to 12 days? Say yes or no. So then follow my plan. Then follow my plan. Done? Okay. Now, do share your feedbacks after the session with ACCA Pakistan. You will get the feedback from right after the session. Please, a small favor. I need your feedback about today's session. So first tell me, how was the session today? How was the session today? Was it worth it? Did the session help you to improve your theoretical problems? I targeted theoretical issues. Budgets 75% came have been tested for theory. So what's your feedback? Did it help you to enhance your skills of theory writing? What verb is, what object is, what knowledge based is, what application based is, what to write, for how many marks? Come on. Yes, please. Did you like my approach to focus on theoretical parts? Was the approach right? Is this your weak area? So do a feedback right after the session, please. Do share feedback with ACCA, how you rate the session. Okay, how you rate the session. Please do give your feedback to ACCA. Okay, and tomorrow, will you be in the session tomorrow? Say yes or no. You have to be in the session tomorrow. Everybody, okay? Everybody. Do spread the word amongst your friends who are taking PM. Tomorrow, more key areas will be discussed, more weaker areas will be discussed. Okay? Okay. Thank you very much. Signing off, Rizwan Mania. See you tomorrow. Do give your feedback to ACC after the session, please. Same time tomorrow. And do become part of my group. Send me the WhatsApp message. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.